Please help me free my people who are currently in a Nazi camp known as the Lincoln Regional Center. Please help free those who are still civilly committed in there, who still have not been released. Please help free them. Please help free them. There are some of them in there that have been in there for 13 years who are civilly committed, some 5 years who are civilly committed, and some just a few, but they're still in there. Please, I ask you to help free them. Some of them either have autism, some of them have a developmental disability, and some of them were falsely diagnosed. I ask you, please help free them. Please. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm gonna try to make this video as quick and simple as I can. If it goes a little longer, please don't be frustrated with me. So as you can see in my other videos linked to my channel, I am the awarded-winning published author of Autism, The Fight Inside. And one of the things I spoke about was the Lincoln Regional Center. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about and basis of this, because I have the freedom of speech to do this, and so it can't be held against me in any litigation or any type of fashion, because I have my voice. I am allowed to talk about this, especially as someone who went through as many heinous things I went through and was abused and all those things. So the Lincoln Regional Center was finally sued by a doctor in newspaper articles. They were sued for false diagnosing patients to keep them in the state psychiatric Nazi hospital longer, which I consider a Nazi camp. That's what I call it, refer to it when people ask me what was it like in the Nazi camp, and I tell them they were using outdated federal laws. They were making up their own rules as they went along. They were antagonizing, provoking patients, including myself, for us to react so they could grab us and put us into full beds and drag us away. Many times, very horrific things, memories that are really difficult to get past and bypass. I went into the Lincoln Regional Center at 205 pounds. I had exercised every day, got into the greatest shape of my life, and I had left the Lincoln Regional Center at like 260 or so from the malnutrition, the abuse, the lack of exercise they gave us. And so this is what I'm going to talk about when it comes to what they did in contrast and comparison to what gangbangers do. So that way you could have a great broad example of a great metaphor to go off of. So if your perception is different, it won't be anymore. So gangbangers who are gangbangers for 10, 20 years, they see their friends dying by getting shot, getting murdered, going to jail, getting separated, things like that, right? Okay, there's no difference in variation between gangbangers and what the Lincoln Regional Center staff did. Let me explain. In the community right now, there are tons of Lincoln Regional Center trained employees who got either their internship, they were a college student who was practicing in either medicine or in psychology or clinical psychology to receive their degree. That's where they received their training. Some of them stayed there for 10 years. And when the heat got to coming, what did they do? Like gangbangers do. They left. They said, I'm leaving, I'm going to the community, I'm going to start a program out in the community to help people because I don't like what they're doing. But what did they not do? They didn't speak up for the patients who were in there. I have had the undignified privilege, that I'd rather not speak of, to meet with some of these people in the community as my therapist or medical doctor, and I start talking to them, and I realize, wow, this person worked at the Lincoln Regional Center. There were things that gave it away. And so I would ask them, did you ever work there before? And when they would tell me, yes, I did, I left. I got a new physician. Each physician I have changed to probably 6 times since I left that Nazi camp has been a Lincoln Regional Center staff member who has conflicted in my treatment in the community, has given biased opinions for how and where my treatment's going. You guys think that it was a fight in there. It's a fight out here too, because those are their buddies in there still. Like, just like any gangbanger with association, once they leave, yeah, they may have changed their life around or lifestyle, whatever it may be, but they don't change who they are loyal to. They don't change who they respect. And so that's what I'm getting at with this video. They denied me visitation rights for seeing my family when I was not a threat or on assault precautions. Very malistic staff members who actually acted worse than patients at times. Maybe hard to believe, but it's very true. They had their own policy book. Okay, so the hospital had a set of regulations and policies. The interesting thing is, when I was on a unit, I often watched them write down new policies they created amongst each other without it going in front of any type of board, approval of government, legislature, laws, LBs, whatever it may be. They created their own laws. And guess what happened to these Lincoln Regional Center staff who either got fired as CEOs or left? Nothing. They just got fired. They probably got put on some probation period, but they didn't go to jail like a gangbanger would. And you know what the worst part about all this is? Is they used your money to do that to people like me, a civil commitment, and other people who get civilly committed. They also mix, which I talk about in my book, Autism, the Fight Inside. They mix criminally committed patients with civilly committed patients, making it impossible for someone who is civilly committed to receive treatment. They were abusive. They treated them like criminals. They put me in cages in the regional center. They often put civilly committed patients in isolation. How do you... Now, let me ask you this question as a government. I'm talking to the government now. How do you take that person who's been in there for 13 years? Luckily, I was only in there for 1 year, which I'm sure they're unhappy they let me out because of the change I made. But how do you take someone who's been in there for 13 years, who's civilly committed? Yes, there are those that you purposely keep there even when doctors order for a discharge. How do you then apologize to a person like that? They lost 13 years of their life. They'll never get back, and they didn't commit a crime. They just told a doctor at a local hospital clinic they were suicidal. What do you do? I don't know if you heard about this story with John Monty. They talked about him in the Lincoln Regional Center all the time. He sued them, and a judge dismissed the case. And I really, if John Monty, if you're watching this, I really freaking hope you open up that case again, because of how much evidence has come to light because of your boy right here, motherfucking AB right here, who brought it out. Yes, I brought it out. How? Because I'm extremely intelligent. I have autism and savant syndrome. My freaking grandpa's was, he's retired now, a colonel in the Air Force. He was a doctor. I come from very intelligent people. My father was a psychologist. My mom was a nurse for 18 years. She's working on her master's degree right now. My older brother's a minister. My younger brother's an electrician. As you've seen in my other video, I'm an electrician. Dude, I'm extremely intelligent. They chose the wrong patient to hurt. I'm probably smart enough to work for the CIA if I really wanted to. I don't want that though, but if I wanted to, I could. Think about all the things I exposed. Now I have a social developmental disability, socially, right? Extremely intelligent, beyond most people in the vast of the realm of intelligence. But I have a very difficult time communicating with people. I mean, as you can see, I'm talking to this in a freaking camera. I'm not talking to another person. And so I wanted you guys to know who it was who exposed them. It was me. The legislature won't acknowledge me because they don't want that kind of reputation. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is that there were senators who knew about this, and they've known about it for God knows how long. They knew about it. They knew about it. And I know they knew about it, and some of them even came in to visit me when I was in the Nazi camp. Patty Pansing Brooks, you should be forced to resign. The senator of Lancaster County. Thank you. That's all I have to say. I hope you guys have a great day. Oh, and by the way, Stephanie Barron too, the ombudsman, Patty Pansing Brooks' friend, you should also be forced to resign for knowing about this and just letting it continue to happen. You do not deserve to be an ombudsman, especially one with a JD degree. Peace. This is your boy AB. Thank you to all my followers. I love you guys. Have a great day.